And now we change totally. We come now to agriculture. Agriculture is one of the main and most important sector in Europe. And now, therefore, we want to present for the first presentation, we would like to present an European project. It's one of the qualified lighthouse of Gaia-X. And we wanted that Paco Conde from ZERTIFIER present the RegenAgX. Thank you, Paco.
Thank you, Paqui. Good afternoon, everyone. Today I share with you RegenAgX, our data space platform to drive the future of regenerative agriculture through secure, sovereign data sharing powered by union values, Gaia-X architecture, and Web3 technologies. ZERTIFIER was founded in a small village in 21 in Catalonia. We focus on building Web3-based ecosystems around decentralized identities, real-world assets, and data tokenization. We bring Gaia-X principles into real-world sectors like farming, energy, and mobility. A core element of our architecture is the data room concept, a secure, federated environment that enables farmers to share and process their data while maintaining full control. Using compute to data, we bring the algorithms to the data, ensuring privacy, traceability, and compliance by design. RegenAgX is a Gaia-X qualified project. It's co-funded by EIT Food under the Tech for RegenAg initiative. This validates our approach, applying the same federated data architecture used in smart cities and energy to the agricultural sector, enabling traceability, reward systems, and secure collaboration at scale. This model is already working in our digital Spaces for Positive Energy District project. With our ZERTIPower platform, we certify and tokenize surplus solar energy to guarantee electric vehicles charging with 100% green power. It's a real-world case of federated data usage, smart contracts, and data monetization. The same mechanisms now being brought to the regenerative farming with RegenAgX. And we show the architecture. We combine IoT data, lab analysis, and satellite imagery with Gaia-X compliant digital identities. Ocean Protocol powers the data marketplace. Compute to data ensures that analysis can happen without exposing sensitive data. Smart contracts automate the monetization, enabling farmers and researchers to benefit directly from the value of their data. ZERTIFIER is aligned with Ocean Enterprise mission to create decentralized, sovereign data ecosystems. Then I have a video, hope it works. Hopefully, it's going to work, video. Okay, data flow. This is the RegenAgX data flow from farm data collection to secure sharing and monetization through a federated marketplace. Everything starts with the farmer using a Web3-enabled farm management platform that respects data sovereignty and connects directly to the data space. Access is easy and secure thanks to Web3 social login, giving users full control over their digital identity. Each user is assigned a self-sovereign identity, fully compliant with Gaia-X standards for secure decentralized authentication. Farms can input detailed data about their operations, including crops, livestock, and practices, structured for interoperability. Geolocalization data is captured, enabling spatial traceability and enhancing the precision of environmental impact analysis. All field-level actions, from planting to fertilization, are recorded and time-stamped to create a rich, trustworthy dataset. Sorry about the flow, it's the video flow. With one click, farmers can share selected data into the federated data space, always under their defined access rules. Data can be made available in the RegenAgX marketplace, opening the door to new revenue and collaboration opportunities. This is the samples that we are working on now. The process is going to finish at the end of the year. Then we are introducing more and more data with our Portuguese partners and CTIC. Both datasets and algorithms can be published, allowing not just raw data, but also insights and models to be shared. Sorry for the flow of the video. Each item is published with customizable access rules. The farmer or provider always stays in control. Providers choose whether to offer their data for free or set a price, enabling fair monetization and incentivize sharing. And then let's go to show you some about the marketplace. Once ready, it's published to the federated marketplace where other trusted actors can discover and request access. Published assets include clear metadata, identity, credentials, pricing, and ownership, enable full traceability. And then let's go through our technical partners. I want to mention our architecture is supported by trusted technical partners who implement self-sovereign identity standards. World ID is our partner. Regarding the clearinghouse, we have Mario from RCS here, I think, in this meeting. Thank you very much. You are supporting us a lot on this process. Ocean Protocol and DAppNode provides secure infrastructure for data exchange and compute, making compute to data possible. And IDS compliant connectors ensure secure, policy-based communication between data, sources, users, and applications. Then, I think last one. Thank you for your time. RegenAgX is more than a platform. It's a movement to empower farmers, accelerate climate impact, and unlock the economic value of trusted agri-data. Thank you.
Amazing, Paco. We have a real data space working with Gaia-X clearinghouse and working with real connectors. I mean, it's not a PowerPoint, it's a presentation. He wanted to do in real time and say, no, it's better to put a video. But they could do really in the platform at real time. Thank you, Paco. Amazing presentation. We have data spaces that work. It's a qualified data space. And now, that is the European data space. It's the agriculture European data space. And now we wanted to show something special, something different. In Spain, as you have heard from the people from the Direction General of the Ministry, we have the approach bottom-up. So we are doing small data spaces, many small data spaces, and we will try that they will be interoperable. We are working in interoperability. Therefore, we will show you 4 small data spaces that they are starting now. And we want that they work in collaboration to have this interoperability and to show this interoperability. We will see the before and after. We will have some questions for them. The first one is the AgrospAI, maybe one of the most well-known, with Roberto. Who doesn't know Roberto in agriculture? Roberto García from University of Lleida.
Okay, a pleasure to be here. Representing AgrospAI. This is one of these demonstrators in the sectoral data spaces funded by the Ministry of Digital Transformation. You have here, well, myself representing, but also the rest of the team that is here in the room. Okay, let's see if it advances. This project is not starting from scratch. It's coming from our work for some years already in data spaces. We participated, for instance, in Agri-Data Space. That was the preparatory action for the European data space, that is SEEDS, that is the deployment of this data space, where we are also participating with any solution, with CTIC, that will also present the demonstrator later. We are also working on agri-food TEF, that is a testing and experimenting facility that also features a data space, and we are collaborating with them. Then it's AgrospAI, that is the sectoral data space. And we also come from previous research projects, also at the national level, where we have been working in previous years and building this demonstrator. So the ecosystem, the initial ecosystem, we have different partners that were interested and supported our proposal. And also, we can reveal two that were part of the tenders that we did from the project. That was RCS, that is supporting us in the compute to data part, providing compute infrastructure, and also Delta DAO for the part related with the connecting with the ecosystem, because we are also using PontusX ecosystem for that. Our motivation and why we have chosen this approach, and it's not for this demonstrator, it came from previous years, is because we want a way to motivate data sharing. And one of the first things was monetization and incentivizing this sharing, but that doesn't make too much sense, trying to monetize when you are dealing with digital assets, in the sense that they can be easily copied and distributed. If you don't have control over them, it's like bad business, not trying to sell them. This happened to the music industry, and it's an example that we always put. They had this very big crisis when people started copying the music because it was digital. The solution for them was streaming, and you can see it made a big change. No? In this industry, they are even in higher levels than before, this big problem. So our idea was how we can do the same for data, how we can guarantee that someone that is sharing the data remains in control, so it's not shared without control, copied and everywhere. So our approach for that, we use always this picture, is what is called the data room. We make this metaphor, okay, to connect it with real. This exists in reality. It's used, for instance, when there are mergers between companies, the accounts of the company are inside a room that you need to get access to there. You cannot bring out anything. You cannot take pictures. So the idea is to do something similar in the context of data. Okay? So you can have this digital room where you can put inside, in this case, it's not a person, it's an algorithm that will get a statistical analysis of that. So you don't get a real copy or partial copy of the data, just an aggregate or a trained artificial intelligence model. That way, the originator of the data remains in control. If you need it again, you will need to get access again to the room, because you don't have the raw data at any point. So this can be implemented with compute to data, that Paco also mentioned, this approach. So the algorithm pieces the data, does whatever is the function, and then takes just the result. And we have put this in practice. And the good thing is that also through the mechanism that PontusX provides, the monetization, blockchain, and this guarantee that you have control over the data, you can monetize all the aspects. You can monetize the data, you can monetize also the algorithms, because at the end, what is going to bring value is the services that you build on top of the data, and also the infrastructure. Here is where RCS takes experimenting, because you don't need to have the infrastructure to run these algorithms. You will also pay for them as you need them. You will pay for these services, and this compute to data, this data room will be run in their infrastructure. You will just pay for the time that you consume. This is a reality right now. Yeah, in fact, we are very happy because today it was announced that we are now a Lighthouse project, a Gaia-X Lighthouse project, because we have it running. We have some use cases deployed already. We have also worked in having the credentials for all these services, assets that we have published. Also, we are using the credentials event service to publish these credentials through this service to make it propagate this through the whole ecosystem. And I will finish with just 2 use cases to an extent anymore. The first one is in the peak sector. Here, what the originator is sharing is images from inside the farm. The idea is that they don't want these images to be leaked outside their control. So what we have also is an artificial vision algorithm that is basically going to the data room, processing the images, and what is the result, the output, what you can download is just metrics about the well-being of the animals. So you don't get access to the original images. And the second use case, it's also available right now in the data space, is with soil analytics. Usually they are a collection. Many companies, they have big collections of them. They are in PDF format. The big issue is how you extract the data, so how you integrate, because each PDF is for a different company, different format. And we are now experimenting also inside the data room to extract, using generative AI, extracting the data from these PDFs and then storing this. Then it can be integrated, collected inside the data room so you can exploit then this data after it is integrated. And we can even generate semantic data based on ontologies. This is a capability of the system. And that's all. Thank you.
Amazing, Roberto. And you have seen like Lighthouse can use tools for other people, like DeltaDAO, like ARCYS, like ZERTIFIER. You have seen everything together now. So the second demonstrator is also from Catalunya, from the University of Catalunya, and is Aniket Bharatrao. Thank you, Aniket.
Good afternoon, everyone. So before starting to explain about the data space project we have, I would like to start with the sister project, which is RegenAgX. And it is meant to ease the data transfer between the various agricultural and food ecosystem. We are working with various companies from private sector as well as the public sector to get like more idea about like how to customize the user experience. So RegenAgX is kind of like through RegenAgX we are trying to create a RegenAgX format, which is like a unit. Each unit will be composed of having the location, the analysis of data, like climate change or like any kind of data similar to after analyzing it. So it would be a standard where the data will be like integrated from various sources, such as like the satellite data, and as well as So our first use case is the impact of heat and water on the crops and agricultural field. So the current problem we currently have is like climate predictions, which are not that accurate, and the impact on the climate stress on the production. So by combining various sources into one unit, we are trying to improve the agriculture domain by giving them more analysis about the adjusted, like each agriculture zone. Like our second use case is the impact on the farms. So to quantify and reducing the carbon footprints on the farms, we need access to the carbon market. So current issues we have is like the climate change effect on the soil and the lack of incentives due to sustainable practices. So by giving them access to the real-time data, we try to improve on the giving access to temperature, humidity, and carbon. So I'll start with the introduction of the UPCxells. It's a data space project. So we, in the UPCxells, we are trying to create a multi-sectorial data space where we are starting with the AgriCells as our first use case. And in UPCxells is kind of unique in a sense that we are trying to collaborate with the companies to know like what are their technological capabilities, limitations, and needs. And we want to make an architecture which is more flexible. So the standard architecture we have is like we try to put the connectors and the data to the producers or the consumer side. But a lot of times it's not possible to have the infrastructure to support the EDC or the data from the producer side. So what we are trying to do is create an architecture like where we will be storing the EDC for connector as well as the data within the UPCxells cloud platform. So where would be the data would be executed? So the data where it would be executed within the data space provided by the UPCxells, and it would be within the cloud platform. And this is the infrastructure. And we are also trying to be more interoperable between the various data spaces. Obviously, the Gaia-X and as well as the following the other standards, such as like the ITSA and all. So these are about the security and transparency. And by using the governance framework, we are trying to give participants more access to the configuration through the website, like ability to configure what rules there would be, and if they want to have more data within the UPCxells cloud platform, or they want to manage themselves. And we want to monetize it using a platform where we would be sharing all the data as well as the services. And by using the various companies, such as like private or public companies, we want to make more collaborations. Thank you.
Thank you, Aniket. And now from the north to the south, now we go to Málaga. So here we have pigs, wine, and now we will have orange trees or whatever. Thank you, University of Málaga, María del Mar Roldán.
Okay. Thank you, Paqui. Good afternoon. My name is María del Mar Roldán. I'm an associate professor at the University of Málaga in the south of Spain. Almost so beautiful as Valencia. And I'm senior researcher in the CAUS research group at the same university. So I'm going to try to present to you our proposal of the demonstration center for the agri-food data space in Andalusia. I'm not really in the technical part of the project, so it's because I say that I'm going to try to explain you. The project is funded by the CTIC, and we are doing it in collaboration with the Andalusia regional government. So the agri-food sector is one of the key pillars in our region. So that's why this project focuses on that sector to develop and deploy the demonstration center. Science is considered a strategy both for the economy of Andalusia and Spain. So the demonstration center aims to boost engagement and raise awareness in the sector, develop training and capacity building tools, deploy a data space management platform for the agricultural sector, and validating technologies, run proof of concept tests, and offer an incubator for pilot projects. The pilot projects or use cases will serve as initial example for the data space platform and will focus on Earth observation technologies and processes, including water stress detection, crop yield prediction, monitoring crops to detect pests and diseases, and detecting underground water users. These first pilots will be managed by the demonstration center through the Agora Data Lab, which we have set up in the Ada Byron Research Building at the University of Málaga. This space will be in charge of providing a catalog of technologies, verifying technical requirements, supporting proof of concept projects, and offering training workshops on data space technologies. And we also carry out research activities there, because we are a research group, such as scalable data processing solution, cross-federation connectivity services, and semantic data integration and interoperability. So to share data in a trust and a smooth way between different participants and ecosystems, we need to look at interoperability as more than just a technical issue. It's a challenge with many layers. The European Interoperability Framework, used widely in the public sector and now in data spaces, describes 4 key types of interoperability: technical, semantic, organizational, and legal. For data sharing to really work, especially across multiple data spaces, all of these 4 layers need to work together. So how can we tell how interoperable a data space really is? To help with this, we have created a practical model, like a maturity ladder, that shows how advanced the interoperability is, both inside one data space and between different ones. At level 0, there is no interoperability at all. There is no shared structure, nothing is reused, and the different layers are not aligned. Level 2 is where real interoperability starts to happen. A group of participants begin to agree on shared models and ways of working. This level is the basic foundation where all 4 layers, technical, semantic, organizational, and legal, are somewhat aligned. It shows for consistent and repeatable interaction between participants. In the slides, you can find a link to the complete description of our interoperability maturity later if you want to know more about it. And in the document, we are also evaluated our demonstration center at this time. And finally, in our project, we are building a data space demonstrator that helps different organizations connect, share, and use data in a safe and trusted way, following the Gaia-X principles. We started by adding the Gaia-X trust framework, focusing on identity and self-descriptions. And for example, we bring in new participants by giving them verifiable credentials, and we send those to a Gaia-X digital clearinghouse to check and approve them. One challenge was that there were not many ready-to-use tools available, so we had to build and adjust some parts ourselves, especially to make them work well with the Eclipse data space components. So later can we talk more about the difficulties of using the Gaia-X framework in our project. So thank you very much.
Thank you, María del Mar. As we need it, therefore our focus is interoperability. Therefore, they are so focused in interoperability. And I really, María del Mar, you know, I come from Andalusia. So you know that I think that Málaga is at least as beautiful as Valencia, of course. And now we come back again from south to the north, and we go to Asturias, the last demonstrator. So we have pork, we have grapes, we have orange. Now we have apple and cider. Thank you, Pablo, Coca from CTIC.
Thank you, Paqui. Good afternoon. My name is Pablo Coca. I am the General Director of CTIC, and I will present you this agri-food demonstrator that we are operating with SERESCO. They are a well-known IT Spanish company. The company was created in 1969, so this is, I mean, a long time for an IT company, you know. And in this case, SERESCO is also providing solutions for agri-food, the agri-food market. And at CTIC, we are supporting SERESCO as a technology provider specialized in data technologies, specializing more specifically in data space technologies. And what we tried with this demonstrator is not only providing something, let's say, virtual, but also physical. And hopefully, we have this site of our technology center. It is located in a rural area in the region of Asturias, in the north of Spain. And we are located in a valley of 40 square kilometers. So we have deployed a sensor network with more than 60 sensor units getting data all over the valley. And this is the base for the development and the deployment of this demonstrator. And it allows us to start from the day one using data. We have data, among others, from apple crops for cider production, also vegetables, beekeeping and forestry activities, and more. This is the ecosystem. We are working from day one with all this data, but we build an ecosystem around this demonstrator with these participants. They are mainly associations of farmers, so it allows us to reach all these individuals by means of a one contact. Also, agri-food companies and research centers specialized in the sector. Regarding the architecture, our strategy is to use a hybrid model, basically formed by Eclipse technologies for the connector side and Gaia-X for the trust framework. We use this approach also based on our previous experience in Horizon Europe projects, for example, in data cellar in the domain of renewable energies. And the stack of technologies are basically based on these Eclipse technologies for the connectors, but also for the federated catalog, Volt ID for the digital identity, and again, Gaia-X for the trust framework. As mentioned before in the previous presentation of Paqui, all the 4 demonstrators that you have seen today, we are working also together, trying to find the way to make our data spaces interoperable between them. It is not easy, but let me say that this approach and this commitment of the 4 demonstrators has been possible thanks to the work that we are doing in the Agri-Food working group in the Spanish hub of Gaia-X. It allows us to first to know to each other, to work together and to share also these challenges and try to solve it working together. And finally, this is important also to convince the final users. You know well that. And in our case, farmers are not necessarily specialized in IT things. So at the end, we need to develop easy tools. We need to make things simple for them. So this is the, let's say, the higher layer in which we are working, and this is finally the interface that the participants, the final users are using. Among some functionalities, it allows us, for example, to set up easily a data set and the identity of the farmers and to get the verifiable credentials in an easy way. And also it allows the users to easily monitor the status of the connectors in real time. So for us, it is a very important part of this demonstrator, trying to make things easy for convince these final users about the benefits of using this kind of solutions. Thank you for your attention, and if you want to know more, please contact me. Thank you.
Pon la transparencia de los 4. Pon la transparencia que estáis los 4. Okay, and I would like not to finish before I give me 5 minutes, because I would like to ask these 4 curious persons, Roberto, María del Mar, Aniket, please come here. Sí, la anterior. La que estáis los 4. La que estáis los 4, la anterior a esta. Ahí está.
Okay.
Can you come, all of you here? I would like to that you sit 5 minutes, because people, they have signed a paper saying that they want to be interoperable. They have signed the CAT commit. Even before to have the money. So in Spain we have like a call to give the money, and they have signed before the call, before to have the money. Okay, if we have the money, we will try to be interoperable. We want to be interoperable.
Right, you are right.
Okay, they have signed they will try to be interoperable, but even worse, all of the 4, they have said, they have right, that they are going to use the Gaia-X trust framework. So you have signed also. So I have 2 questions. The first question is, I gave the 2 questions you can answer. So why you want to use a trust framework? Why you want to use Gaia-X trust framework? Why?
Yo? Okay, this is the easy question. We choose a Gaia-X trust framework because it gives us a set of technical and semantic specifications to build an interoperable data space. For example, the federated catalog help us to publishing and consuming data between different nodes, or the identity trust framework helps to manage the identities in a decentralized way. So the idea of aligning with Gaia-X is attractive because it ensures that our data space will be compatible with other European initiatives. So it's, the decision is...
It's clear for you. Okay, Roberto?
Yeah, for us it's the same. No, we need a way to track the identities of who is participating, who is sharing the data. I mentioned that we are using, for instance, blockchain, but it's what happens in blockchain. You don't have a tie from that identity on blockchain to a real identity in the real world. So this, for instance, the credentials and the trust framework is providing that. And if someone does something that is not a good thing with the data, we can then connect that with the legal system, so there are consequences, and I think that is fundamental for trust.
And you're using even Delta DAO, Pont26 platform.
Yeah, we are using, for instance, we're combining for the notary, we are using ARSIS clearinghouse. In the portal, we are using Delta DAO's clearinghouse, so it's also very nice that we can change them and use them, combine them the way we need. So it's ideal that they are based on the same foundation.
And Aniket, what about the UPC?
I guess it gives a platform to have a verifiable credentials, and as well as most of the projects in the data space are already using Gaia-X, so it's more to be compatible. It's very useful to have.
Okay, and Pablo?
I think it works. We saw this morning in the Christophe's presentation that trust is the base for deploy this kind of system. So for us, it's simple. We can manage. We can we can have the technology, but without this part of trust. We have nothing, so it is basic for the next steps.
Okay, perfect. And you have here the people from Gaia-X ASBL. Which problems, María del Mar promised before, which problems are you finding now to use the Gaia-X trust framework?
Okay, first, it's a tech company who is the responsible of implementing and integrating Gaia-X framework in our project. So we don't have real experiences dealing with this framework. And also, I'm not, as I say in my presentation, I'm not in the technical team of the project, but they told me that the biggest challenge is to deal with the maturity of the tools, because some parts of the framework are still under development.
The maturity of the tools.
Of the tools.
Okay.
Some parts of the Gaia-X framework are still under development or in experimental stages. So the documentation is sometimes can be not bit organized and even not a bit unclear. So you need a strong technical background, a previous strong technical background to understand the documentation and how to use it. This is the biggest challenges that the technical team has in our project.
Okay, note this. We note this recommendation.
Okay, I think that maybe what would be more useful for us would be that this onboarding to get the credentials, all these mechanisms were like natural, already done. And I think that would be nice. It's not a duty just for Gaia-X, but also for the EU Commission and so on, is, for instance, to have these credentials in the EU wallet. So it was like natural for everyone, for every company, just to log in using their digital identity. So it's natural to have that. That would be like breaking the barrier.
Okay, thank you. Aniket?
I think the same, like the documentation about documentation, I think it's more detailed and technical, but there should be something for like, in the layman terms, like having simplified documents for knowing, like getting started with. So because I think that is the biggest barrier to understand the project at the initial phase.
Okay, and Pablo?
In my opinion, the big challenge is to make transparent all this process to the final user. All this technology part with complex documentation, complex processes, and so on should be yes, natural, as Roberto said, transparent for the final user.
Okay, perfect. These 4 courageous people, they have signed and they are trying, and we have very nice recommendation for them. Thank you very much.